Guys, so I don't do this too often. I just have a few things I want to get off my chest. Excuse my voice. I'm getting over being sick. And excuse the background. I'm down in the basement, which is my little prayer closet, my little prayer area. So, anyway, I want to talk about why sometimes it's so hard for the younger people to come to Christ. At least my take on it. Everybody has a different opinion. But for me, I believe being a younger babe in Christ, which I'm not super duper young, but I am like out of the younger generation. And the other day, my sisters and I were having a conversation basically about things that, I've done in the past or we've done in the past. And we were having discussion of, fighting and stuff that, we did years ago, maybe months ago. But the thing is, someone had said that, you shouldn't talk about that stuff and then listen to Christian music or listen to Christian programs. And I'm like, so I shouldn't talk about my past? I mean, obviously this person doesn't know that they have a testimony living on the inside of them. But for me, I'm going to always talk about where God brought me from, because I know I didn't have to be here I'm not supposed to be here right now. I could have been dead and gone years ago. God has saved me so many times, and I know it's for a reason. So I'm going to tell you this, watch my change and not my past choices, because I have to tell my testimony. And I'm not really sure what this video is going to do, but I hope that it does make someone feel comfortable, going to church, or feel comfortable coming to Christ as you are. We don't search for Christ if we have no past, or if we have no, secrets, or, stuff that we don't want or need to get off our chest. If everybody was perfect, why would we even need to find Christ? So this is my thing. If we as a people would stop judging people, I believe our churches will be more full, and we'll have more active members in the church. And that's what I'm looking to do. I want to see young people coming out, because as I'm watching, we look on social media, you look on the news, and everybody, my age or younger, everybody's dying. Everyone's dying, or everyone's getting killed, or, we have to come together. The younger people, we have to teach the people that's coming up under us. And I'll be honest about, I wasn't always serious, not as serious as I am now. And the thing that I believe got me to the point where I'm at now is because I wasn't really sure, because you hear different things going to church. And I wasn't sure if my prayers were going to where they needed to go. And, I got to the point to where, I couldn't sleep at night because, my kids are, doing the things that I was doing at their age. And I would literally sleep with my phone on my pillow, because I know my kids out and they're out partying and they're out doing this and they're out doing that. And, I'm like, I can't sleep. I have no peace. I could not sleep until I knew my children were at home after partying, or whatever it is that they, they do. Things that I've done. I know things that I've done at their age was terrible. And so now I'm like, okay, I have no peace. And I was kind of afraid. I'm like, what am I going to do? I can't, not sleep all night while I know my kids are out in the streets. How can I sleep? I could miss a phone call, or, something could happen and I'm sleeping. So I wasn't comfortable sleeping when I knew my kids were out in the street. my children. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And the only thing I could think to do, which I know was, Jesus tugging at my heart, tugging at my heart. I had to give it to him. And so my thing was, I had to literally give my life to Christ. That's the only way that I knew for sure that my prayers were reaching the destination that I needed them to go to. I needed to pray for my children, and I needed to keep my children, I needed my children to be covered by the blood, because you just never know. And I still pray for my children. I pray for their friends, and that's really the only thing that I still have a problem with. And that's like the only trick that the enemy still has over me. And that's just him attacking my mind through my children, because that will just send me over the edge. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. But that is the thing that basically made me want to get serious and made me want to turn my life over to Christ, because I wanted to make sure that when I prayed for my children, that I knew that God was going to answer my prayers and keep them safe. So that is what really made me, I'm only speaking for me, that made me want to go to Christ, because I knew the things that I've done in the streets, and I knew that I had to protect my children, because, they're young. They're young. And I was their age, and I can sleep now. I tell you that much. I can say my prayers and I'm able to go to sleep. But before, baby, I was not going to sleep. I was not taking that phone off that pillow until I knew my kids were at home. And I trust and I believe that God are going to keep my children protected. Excuse me. So that's what got me so interested in really wanting to turn my life over to Christ. And in doing so, I've come a long way, and a lot of times I think about, like, before, how I would be out in the clubs on Saturday, and then I'll be in church on Sunday. And you hear a lot of people talk about people like that. Like, oh, she's out in the club all night on Saturday, and Sunday morning she in the church. Yeah. And thank God that I did, because now I'm saved. So young people, don't stop going to church because you were out partying on Saturday. Because again, if we were perfect, we wouldn't be chasing after Christ. So you have to continue. You have to find a church. You have to go to church. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have to go to church. I can read the Bible in my house. I can pray in my house. You need to be in the presence of God. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's just something, I have to be in church. Like, I have to. So I'm like super excited because I'm off tomorrow, so I get to go to church. But it is just something about being in the presence of God amongst other people that's praying. You got people praying for you. People praying for me. I mean, I must have been getting prayed for years. And, thank God that I am on the right path. And I do want to see everybody saved. I want to see like the young people, like my nieces and my nephews and my children, my grandson. Like, I want to see everybody saved. And it's just like, I believe, like, there was like just like a peace that came inside me when I finally was able to, when I finally learned that I can't do anything else. Me staying up all night wasn't going to keep my children covered. I had to get that thing to God. And I still worry about them a little bit because I'm human. But I do pray for my children. And I pray that one day, soon, they will also want to be in the church, doing things, trying to bring other young people to Christ. And I'm not really sure who this is for, But I do feel that, it's just something that I should have done a long time ago. And that maybe I will start doing. But it's just some things like I want to talk about, to the younger people, which I would love to see a lot of the younger people in church. Like, they have this one thing, like, excuse me, guys. So, we all have some of us have 10 friends. I don't have very many, but I have friends. And sometimes you got to think about the people that keep you from Christ. Basically, your blind spots. Are your blind spots covered? Like, the people that's in your corner, your friends, are they going to tell you, okay, you need to do this or you need to do that? Are your blind spots covered? You don't know. The only person that can cover your blind spots is Jesus. And I know without a doubt that when I pray, he hears me and he answers me. You just have to be quiet, have to be still, you have to listen. And sometimes I watch things that my children go through and I see me all over again. And I'm like, oh God, what did I do? Like I've stayed in abusive relationships. And I've seen my mother stay in abusive relationships. And so now when I see it in my children, I'm like, God, you got to remove this. You got to remove it. You got to remove it right now. I'm telling you. I pray for my children. I pray for their safety. And I wish that I would have knew what I know now a long time ago. But I didn't. But, everything is a learning process. So I pray now, like, I see my children go through I see them go through things and I just see me. I see like, they got that from me. It's just terrible. At one point I was afraid of being alone. I didn't want to be by myself. And I didn't know that I could go to the only one person who would never leave me alone. And if I would have known that I should just went to Jesus years ago, I probably wouldn't see my children going through some of the things that I see them going through now. And so my prayer is to hopefully, prayerfully, get them to understand that it's bigger and better things out there. I forgive myself for the things that I have done, things I allow my children to see me be, physically abused, mentally abused. And, a lot of times as a mother, as a young mother, we don't really comprehend that we're training our children to think it's okay. Our daughters. And it's not. It's just so much stuff I want to talk about, and I'm just all over the place. But it's just things that we got to do better with. And I believe that if we could get all of our younger people to feel okay coming to church, if we can let them feel comfortable coming to church without being judged, I believe we could do a lot of damage control. Because at the rate that these young girls and these young guys are going, it's so many babies, young girls, young guys, people dying, leaving their children. I don't know what I would do. I need to see my kids saved. And I know you want to see your kids saved, or, it's just stuff we have to get together. I'm not really sure what to do, how to do it, but I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to continue to pray about it. So this is just something I wanted to get off my chest, and hopefully it will help somebody, or it'll make somebody want to come to church. You all are more than welcome to come to Christ-like Worship Center with me. I would love to have you guys there tomorrow or any day, but I hope you all have a good night, and I will be back again.